right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music Studio, straight out of Ronkonkoma, Long Island. My co-host, live in studio. Do you recognize? Is this the Pharaoh? Did he make a change? Or
I'm the bedazzled Pharaoh today.
Bedazzled Pharaoh.
I got my hat. I couldn't wear it backwards. He does pull off the backwards look way better than I could.
I thought you should have went with that.
I know you did.
I did. It looked good.
But
you made a mistake. You should have went
know.
backwards. Tony, what do you think? What do you think of the new co-host here today?
Well, she kind of different than the gals I grew up with. I mean, I'm from the hills of Virginia, and it's kind of hard to see a young lady like her that don't have a true red man in a jaw there that could skin a coon and shoot a shotgun and climb a tree and walk behind a mule 8 hours a day, But that's the type of women I grew up around. Rough, tough.
Did they have a lot of
bite your head off. Yeah, bite your head off, beat you in the head with a rolling pin. But this is nice.
oh, don't get it twisted. When
Very
he wakes
nice.
me up earlier than
gotta
11 in
get
the
a-
morning,
you
I want
gotta
to beat
get
him
a-
with a rolling pin.
Get a big old chew, a Chattanooga chew to really, add spice to it. Yeah.
Did the women in Virginia have like lots of hair on their legs and stuff like that?
Well, when I was young, which was a long time ago, I was raised in a town called Lowmore, Virginia. They say I'm from Roanoke, but I was in my teens when my mother and family moved to Roanoke. We live in raised in Lowmore, Clifton Forge, Covington area, and most of it all farmland. So, women was pretty much as tough as men. They did the same work. They plow field, they go cut trees, they go. The father would teach the daughters how to hunt. If you couldn't hunt, you didn't eat during the winter. Everybody didn't go out buy meat because they slaughtered hogs. But even farmers that raised animals didn't really eat their animals because they had to use them animals to sell to the market. So the women was pretty tough, and they still can be. I mean, the first time I saw strong women, incredibly strong women, I was at Santa Monica Beach in California, and this girl that come in, they call a pillow, like a pillow you lay your head on, and she walked over to the bench, and she took 225 pounds off and started doing it for reps.
Wow.
Jesus. And that was the first time that this was in like 81, 82, where I saw a woman do over 200 pounds. And then China, of course, I seen her do like 365.
Really?
Yeah, on the bench. I was with a girl called Amanda Storm.
Wait a minute. Did you say 365 on the bench she did?
Yeah,
that's why I was like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I have seen some pretty, I would say the strongest woman I ever met because of her size. She was 100. I used to put on bench press contests to raise money for the fire department up in Lewiston, Maine, where we just had that mass shooting. Mm-hmm. But anyway, make a long story short, she was 114 pounds, and she bench pressed 275.
Wow.
So when they say the man is the strongest, pound for pound, I have met some very, very, because I've been in the fitness field for many years, and you take like Beth Francis, she would lift an incredible weight in order to build that type of a size and everything. And when you train at Gold Gym, you see women moving. Sandy Raw, used to call her Master Sandy. She used to rep out 225 on the bench. I see women on the leg press, no problem. Amanda Storm would take 1,000 pounds and do it for 20 reps.
That I can do. Leg press, I can do about 450.
1,000 pounds.
Really?
Yeah, where you're pushing it with your legs, I can do a lot on my legs.
They could be strong. Women could be as strong as men if they.
We pushed out him in life. We're definitely stronger than you guys.
Yeah. I met some very
like
strong
pushing a watermelon through a straw.
So that's why I said, with the tobacco control, for me, it wouldn't. I was raised on a farm with rough, tough women. I was raised by a rough, tough mom. Worked out in the gym with rough, tough women. I was Bob. Who was it? Bob Orton Jr. Bob Orton Sr. Life was saved by a woman, Moolah. They get in a bar fight. The guy come up to him, was going to stick him, and Moolah bust a beer bottle over the guy here. Moolah used to fight guys in bars and stuff. I'm sure you hear that before. So
I don't think I would press anyone.
I see it in the
Moolah,
restaurant.
That's what I would stay away from that.
You know, they have bar fight. I think Mae Young probably was the toughest woman I ever met in my life. I mean, she was, in her younger days, you know, she would take on guys, you know.
So you're telling me they had hairy legs too?
Jesus Christ.
What happened?
Did they have hairy legs? Did they have hairy legs?
Who?
The women.
The women, Mae Young.
We all got hairy legs unless you shave them. Who
true.
don't have hairy legs?
That's true.
That razor blade, you know.
I don't know, coming off
I
that
got a beard,
plane.
but if I shave it, I ain't gonna have no beard.
How do you feel about hairy legs on a woman?
I think a woman should be what the hell she want to be.
Wow.
What about
I can't
pics?
judge a woman.
What
how
if I had
she
like
should
a
be.
full
I
like
could
length
care
of
less.
like
Don't bother
arm
me.
hair? Like,
Don't bother me. Don't
Nothing.
really?
Wow.
If that's what she wants, I mean, you know how
Would you
freaking-
be okay with that?
you know how weird my ass is.
No, but
You
look,
talk about the-
no,
you talk about
I understand you letting the freedom, like, hey, people
Yeah.
be any which way you want to be.
Don't
but I'm
bother me.
asking Tony Atlas, what does he prefer? Does he prefer non-shaven? Does he prefer using the weed whacker made from Manscaped?
I never met. Well, I never met
Shave
a
off the
woman.
cobwebs.
I never met a woman with hairy legs. So I never.
Don't look at my legs
I-
tonight.
I've never seen it. You know, most women shave their legs, so I don't think anybody ever seen a
We
woman with
only
hairy
shave our
legs.
legs when we think
saw
we're
that-
getting some.
If we saw that, we'd probably freak out. I mean, I've been living, you know, over a half a century, and I've never seen a woman with hairy legs. Never seen it.
I wish
So
I think
it's
my hair
hard to
grew back
judge
here.
how I would feel about it when I never experienced it.
Wow.
You know, I would like to see a woman with hairy legs, just see what they want to look like.
I could tell
I
you.
can't picture
You
it.
trust me, right? You're not missing anything. Trust
No.
me. It's
Yep.
scary.
Yep.
It's really
You
scary.
know what's scary? I don't like men that shave their legs.
Really?
I don't like it.
Why not?
I think certain body hair should be on men.
I shave my underarms. Honestly, I do. I got no hair on them.
No, I want a little for a guy. I don't want back hair. I don't want neck hair. No shoulder hair. Keep your arm hair. Keep your leg hair. Keep your pit hair.
Pit hair now. I'm telling you, it keeps it's clean.
You trim it.
It smells. No, you just
You
get
don't
rid
have
of
it like
Get rid of
hanging
it.
down. You just
In fact, any hair is too much, right? Like hair on a beard is fine, but like underarm stuff like that.
I get a little.
All right, we're gonna hit
lazy.
some news items, and then we'll get to the Hall of Famer, Mr. Tony Atlas, which it's been a year. I love you, Tony. Tony's in town for the big event with us, and so is my co-host here.
Wow, he's
Finally
already
meeting
good
each other in
company.
person. Abe came over. They all saw each other. It's like we're like one big family. It's beautiful. Anyway, Mystery of the Stick Man on Led Zeppelin.
I know.
Who?
Leb-
Okay, Led Zeppelin album. Cover is finally solved. After more than a half a century, the identity of the elderly stick-carrying man featured in the Led Zeppelin 5 album. I think it's 5. Am I right there, Chris? It's 5, right? Yeah. Thank you. Chris is the owner of the station and also
I was saying
top
music. A music buff.
Top Billboard 40, 10, I think 20. He's had a lot of hits on there.
Okay, we need to get me some auto tune so I can start hitting charts.
The stick man who featured... The stick man... listen, if you could use autotune, I think I could be a hit. What do you think?
I got the bedazzled hat. Okay, it's
Who
on me.
featured on the cover of this English rock band Led Zeppelin. So it ends up being that this guy was from Wiltshire and was born in 1823. I don't even know why I put this on.
Where did they come up with this
I don't know
stuff?
why. I don't even know why I brought this up, honestly.
You know what? You're like me. I consider myself like a Snapple cap. I'm like, it's factual, but it's some useless
It
information
is
that
really
I found
useless
out.
information. And I have very limited brain space, right? As I get older, it's like I got to really watch what I try to retain.
Oh, I retain too much. And
Your
I'm like,
teeth are awfully white. I've
thank you.
now noticed this, being that I'm on this. You got some white teeth.
I use
I like white teeth.
I'm one of those like Instagram buyers.
Yeah.
So High Smile, that
High
stuff that
Smile.
you see them clean the toilets with,
Right.
and like it really whitens your teeth. Like it's purple goo, and I was like, nah, this stuff's not gonna work. And I use
it works.
and it works really good.
There's nothing better than white. You like white teeth, Tony?
Who?
White teeth?
Teeth.
White teeth,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
White teeth are nice.
Yep. Yeah.
Yellow, brown, okay?
No, white is
Man, you're killing me right now. Oh, my God. A lunch
You have
host.
to take one handed to you.
A lunch host is here. I guess so.
You are gonna
I
make
guess so.
my
You know what,
whole
man?
weekend.
You are right, Tony. You're
Gotta
right.
take what come your way.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Oh no, you can't be.
If you're at my age, you're lucky enough to find someone with a full set of teeth. You're in good shape, right?
Hell, I had to pay women to step on my face. I couldn't even get that free. They walk on the ground. They walk on steps. If I want them to walk on me, you got some money?
Yeah, you know what? Like, why is everything got to be about money,
You got to
Tony?
pay them just to put their foot on you.
Oh,
You're right. No, you're right.
Listen,
That's
Liza
offensive.
Minnelli.
Think
Money
about it,
makes the
Marty.
world
They walk on the
go
ground,
round.
walk in mud, walk in everything.
But won't walk on
But
your
won't
face.
walk on Tony.
That's
It
ridiculous.
should be, there should
Pisses
be
me
a law.
off.
There should be a law against that.
I think so. It pisses me
I
off.
should be able to have them arrested and they
Why do
have
I
to
feel
serve.
like I'm getting dagger eyes?
Yeah.
You are getting a little daggerized.
Yeah,
I'm a
they
little
put them in
upset
jail
right now.
and they have to serve at least a good 5 or 6 years of walking on Tony
Oh my goodness.
That's a great idea.
and sleekers.
I think that's
No,
a great
I
idea.
got the Louis
No, that
on today.
reminds me of church. When I see a woman healed, I think about going to church.
So you can't have heels on your face.
Well, see, but you got to realize the time I was born, the only time I was raised in the country,
A
women
woman
wore
wore them to
flats all the
church.
time. The only time I would see a woman in high heels is when they went to church.
Or they were streetwalkers.
And then heels hurt women, and I don't like to hurt women. So I know they're in pain because my mother used to come on with them heels, and she kicked them all the way across the room. And she'd go, whoo, boy, that feel good.
Honestly?
That's the first thing she did when she got in the house. She would kick them heels off with, and she would say
I like
this:
heels better.
a woman did not create these shoes.
No. It's definitely, yeah. With
A woman
me,
did not create heels.
I love wearing heels. I feel more comfortable
That's
in
great.
heels.
That-
Sneakers, I'm like, yo. But then
you gonna
those
have me
things stink.
singing hymns.
Now, you understand that we've got a Hall of Famer here. We're talking about leg hair, white teeth.
It's against the law
stepping
to
on
not
toes.
step on your face.
Here, you know,
Hairy legs and hairy armpits.
I want you guys to weigh in on this. A lunch host is accused of killing her ex-husband's parents and aunt with poisonous mushrooms.
I love
The host of the
mushrooms.
weekend family lunch at her Australian country home was charged Thursday with murdering her ex-husband's parents and aunt with poisonous mushrooms and attempting to murder the fourth guest, police said. Police arrested Erin Patterson, 49, at her home in Victoria State Town, where her former husband's parents, Gail and Don Patterson, both 70, Gail's sister Heather Wilkerson, 66, and Wilkerson's husband, Ian Wilkerson, 68, were invited for lunch. And she killed them with mushrooms. What do you think?
Wait, so they all live together? Is
Yeah.
that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
When you're 49 with a boyfriend and you live with the parents, that's already, I would have killed myself. Like,
You would ate your own mushrooms?
I would have ate my own mushrooms. Like, where's my life gone? Like, what has happened to me? That's why when she was like, fuck this shit.
Yeah, I'm done.
Like,
Cut
I'm
those
dying.
mushrooms. I'm killing myself. Tony, what do you think?
Oh, look at the mean looks like it. Oh, God.
Tony's like, I should have stayed in Maine this week.
When you take human life,
Right.
you just took all that person ever had or ever will have. You know, even if no matter what caused a person to lose their life, hit by a car, mushrooms, gun violence, no matter what, it's sad.
Of course, yeah.
You know, because somebody just lost, and especially if you did it to your parents. I mean, my mom worked from 7 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night to raise us kids. Never had a new pair of shoes, never had a new dress. She had one dress that she put on to go to church on Sunday. And when I see the struggle that my mom went through, and then when my daughter was born, I saw the pain and the struggle that my ex-wife went through giving my daughter birth. You know, over 20 hours giving, you know, in labor. So when I think about, no matter what the cause, when I think about somebody losing their life over dumb shit, you know, it's this idiotic, uncaring, selfish, low-life, so-called humans, subhumans. When you think so little of a human being life, you subhuman. You don't have a soul no more. You don't have a conscience. That's it.
Well,
I am the bad guy.
Wow,
I made
way to
it-
go,
I
Daniella.
made an
Yeah, you know,
insensitive
way to
joke.
go,
I'm
Daniella.
sorry.
Way to take the air out of the room,
You know
buddy.
what? Kill
I'll
your mom
take
for
this
what?
one.
Leave.
I'll take this one.
Leave. The same thing that guys that beat their wife. If you ain't getting along with your wife, leave.
You're right.
No, that's
Get the hell
true.
out of if you can't live with a person. Relationship is like, I got a shoe fetish, so everything I say to deal with shoe. You may walk into a store. You see a beautiful pair of shoes in a size 8, but you wear a 10. No matter how much you're going to, even if you got your foot in them shoes, even if you got your foot in them, they're going to hurt your feet as long as you wear them. They don't fit you. No matter how much you want them shoes, they don't fit you. You have to get what fit you, what you comfortable with. You know, everything look good until you try to live with it. I don't care what a woman look like. If I can't live with you, you can't do me no good.
I actually feel the
What
same
the
way
hell is
about that.
happening? It's kind of like I never drove a Standard a day in my life. You could buy me a brand new Ferrari, but it's a Standard. Ain't doing me no good. If it's automatic, I could drive it. A Standard, I don't care how good it look, I can't drive it. If I can't live with a woman, she could be the most gorgeous, most sexy woman walking the face of the earth. I could do bad by myself. You know what I mean? I do bad by myself. If I can't live with her, hey, you can have her. You go right ahead. I had a girlfriend one time that I came in on. She was in bed with another guy. So the guy got scared, thought I was going to beat him up.
Goodness.
You know, just when I was, all jacked and everything. I sat down, I went over, hey, buddy, how you doing, man? And he was just shocked. She got mad at me because I didn't get mad. I said, what the hell I would get mad about? You want to be with me? He said, well, I leave y'all to talk this over. I said, oh, no. You take her with you. She's yours now.
Nice.
No, you take her with
charity.
you.
My contribution.
She volunteered to be with him.
Wow.
I'm out working, traveling up and down the highway, trying to make a living come from us. The show got canceled because of snow. I hopped an airplane, flew to L.A. Back then, you didn't need all that, didn't have to make all that reservation up there. You just throw the money on the counter, they give you a ticket, you jump on the plane.
We were talking about that
I
earlier.
flew from Philadelphia Airport all the way to L.A., walked into the house, and she with someone else. I said, oh, no, you take her with you. She's yours now. Ain't man's no more. Man's wouldn't do that.
Very nice.
No matter how much I wanted her, I just couldn't have it.
That's it.
Have you ever walked in on anyone like that?
No.
I wanted
I
to
have.
sing like I
threw
like
the bitches
Elvis.
close into the fucking canal.
I always wanted to look like The Rock and sing like Elvis. Didn't happen.
No, I got you.
So I ended up with a kisser only a mother could love. But it's my kisser.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what? Seriously, you said you walked in, right, and you got pissed off.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with Tony. What are you going to do about it? Nothing.
No,
It doesn't
no, I
matter.
was
Why?
calm. I was calm. I was very calm. But I was like that,
if they don't want
that
you, they don't
crazy
want
calm.
you.
I was like, let's see her walk out
That's
of my
right.
house.
Well, yeah,
with no
sure.
Because
clothes.
sometimes we take what's called a stupid pill. If somebody don't want you, they don't want you.
Right.
Ain't nothing you're going to do to make them want you. I don't like okra. You know that okra?
I thought he said Oprah.
You said
oh my
Oprah,
God,
right?
I thought he said
it's
Oprah.
Okra. Gotcha.
That is a veggie.
Okra,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I know it's a
vegetable.
vegetable.
I just don't like. I can't eat it. I eat chitlins, which is pig intestines. But
A lot of people, I
I
don't
eat
like
pig.
chitlins either.
I eat pig intestines.
Yummy. Yummy.
But I won't eat okra.
Oh, my God.
What the hell is wrong with me?
I don't know, man.
I
I don't know. I honestly... Listen, I could tell some stories, right? All right. I'd like to thank the band that sings the theme song for Monte the Pharaoh. Remember Jimmy Farrow?
Yes.
Our
What
own
are you talking
Jimmy,
about? I'm Jimmy Farrell reincarnated.
our own Jimmy Farrell, along with his partner Bart Griggs, make up the band Wisteria Hall. Wisteria Hall sings such great songs as In My Dreams, This Life, Not Far Behind, Here Comes the Rain. You can find their music on the Wisteria Hall YouTube page. And if you go to YouTube, hit that like and subscribe. Go to Spotify, Apple Music, Reverb Nation. And if you didn't know, the great Tony Atlas is on our couch. This is Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte the Pharaoh. We also have a YouTube page where we want to hit that like and subscribe.
And rewatch us.
What's my
And
boo?
rewatch us. And rewatch us.
Catch us on our Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Twitch TV. And in New York, channel 115 every Tuesday at 9:30, Saturday at 11:30, and channel 20 at 7 p.m. Tony, we're also on something called the Intuitive Network. It's a free app, right? So if you're on your phone, you want to watch a free movie, it's right there. INTUITIVE Network, where
Guess
the
what?
main
If it's
show
free, it's for
on
me,
there.
and I'm all about it.
We'll be right back where all the fans want to hear from Tony Atlas, which you haven't been on the show in a long time. I consider you a close friend. You're a good man. You've always treated the show well. You've treated myself well.
I already love him, and I just
How
met him
can't
like
you-
an hour
How
ago.
can't you love this man? So right after this commercial break, we're going to ask you a few questions. You ready to answer some
Sound
questions?
good.
All right, we'll be right back after this break. Daniella?
Okey-dokey.
Come back. Come see us.
Sir?
Ah,
Manscaped?
uh-huh.
Have you tried the new equipment that's been sent?
I'm afraid because it says weed whacker. I'm scared.
Maven, Manscaped, what are you thinking about
Love it.
Manscaped, dude?
Love it.
What do you use it for?
Necessity. What don't I use it for? Put it this way. The only hair I have on my entire body is these eyebrows.
Yeah.
That you see. These
Wow.
caterpillars racing to the middle of my nose. That's it.
That is it.
That's all I have. And that's all I want.
That's the
So
bit-
Manscaped is
You-
a must.
We were talking before the show. There's nothing worse than just hair.
Yeah.
Right? Hair on a woman, hair on a man. It's just bad.
Absolutely. And it's the one thing that the older I get, it starts growing more in unwanted areas.
Absolutely.
I hate it.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Just going to go out there.
Oh, boy.
Go for it.
You're doing a deed.
Yes.
Again, I don't want you to have to admit this because we, as men, we try not to admit this. But if you're going to
Oh,
go
I
do
know
the deed
where-
on a
I
woman,
know where
would you
he's
rather
going.
have her be hairless or a little hair, racing stripe, or
Racing stripe.
full retro bush?
Well,
Racing stripe.
Retro Bush is out.
Yes, thank you.
Retro Bush is out.
Yeah.
I don't mind a small, well manicured landing strip. Every now and then, if it's completely, and I'm talking like baby's ass bald, then I start. Where is that pedophilia line? I don't want to
Wow.
wander into that.
That's
thought
very
of it like
interesting.
that.
I never thought about that. You're a
Wow.
smart dude. Holy shit.
So if the landing strip is clean enough for the plane to go in smoothly, you're cool with that?
If the landing strip has like I said, well manicured,
Yeah,
you can see both sides. It's not
Like blinking lights on both sides of that
I
landing?
just don't. I don't want. I don't want the shrubbery going off into unwanted areas on that as well.
Gotcha. Oh,
Yeah,
look
but-
what you found. Ooh.
I got to be all honest though. Hey, the older I get though, I don't think I can be as
I found it! I found
have
it!
you ever gone down there and she slowly brings down the underwear? Then
What is
retro? Just,
absolutely.
You're like, whoa!
Wow,
Yeah, I'm
like
46,
it
of
pops
course.
out?
Do you like walk out or what do you do?
No, I muster through. I muster up the courage to get
finish
He's
through.
a trooper. Yeah. He's a trooper. Gotta give him an A.
Yeah, not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah,
There you
no,
go.
I hear you.
There you
Listen,
go.
I couldn't
Super
say.
Bush.
I couldn't say. Well, if you have the same beliefs as Maven, does Manscaped could help you?
Absolutely.
The weed whacker.
Absolutely.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I may have to, go in a room, close the door, and hang out with the weed whacker for a little while.
Man, I think you're a retro guy, aren't you?
I like 70s adult films, if that's what you're getting at.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
But
only
with that,
Ron
we're going to take a
Jeremy,
quick
Batman.
commercial break and we'll be
Anyway.
back with this wrestling icon, Maven.
We will see you in a drop kick second.
Drop kick. All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte The Pharaoh, only seen here out of the great indie music TV out of Ronkonkoma, Long Island, where my co-host has come from the computer, and she's sitting right in the chair.
Video killed the radio
Oh, Jesus.
star.
So let me ask you, when someone, like 'cause with women, right, they say the beautiful co-host, right? Isn't that offensive? Like, why does a man have to say someone's beautiful? Can't they say, my co-host?
Feed me bullshit. Feed me lies. Tell me sweet little.
Tony Atlas, the man, the myth, the legend. How are you? Tony, how you been?
You
Good, my
gorgeous
friend.
man, you. See, it sounds good when
How,
I say it.
it does. How's Monica first, more importantly?
My wife Monica, is everybody know her, 2019, she had a stroke, and she's right now is in DeVille rehab, and from 1 to 7 every day that I'm not on the road, I go and sit with my wife, and I took over her therapy because they only give you therapy for a certain length of time, and after that period of time, they would cut off doing therapy. But I give her the therapy because the human body meant to move, and if her body don't move, then she be in pain. So I got certain exercise that I worked out that I help her. Some exercise we do in bed. Then I got exercise we do when she's out of bed, and so we stay together. We still love each other with everything that in us, and I would never leave her. I would never forsake her,
About to start crying
and I'm
again.
always going to be there by her side. So she was there for me when nobody else was. As you know, everybody knows. It wasn't. I would have died 35 years ago if it wasn't for her. So the only reason I'm sitting here right now is because of my wife, Monica. Otherwise, y'all be talking about me like you talk about all the other wrestlers that passed away, but she literally saved my life.
I mean, I don't want to get too personal on it, but we're all getting up there in age, right? You can't stop it. I mean, how difficult is it for you to think about living and not having Monica with you? Is that something you try to avoid
I
thinking
try
about?
not to think about it. I try every day not to think about that.
You can see
But
that
it'd be
you love
hard.
her so much.
Because we live for each other.
Right.
I live for her, she lives for me. I met 3 women in my whole life that cared about me. 3. My mother, my grandmother, and Monica. And the thing about it, there was not one woman in the United States of America that cared about me. Not one that I met. And all the women I met, all the places I met, didn't find not one American woman that cared about me. The woman that cared about me was born in Berlin, Germany in 1941. She came all the way from Berlin, Germany to America and fell in love with old Tony Atlas. And when she met me, I didn't have a pot to piss in and a wonder to throw it out of. Didn't even know who I were. And I said, what made you like me? She said, I looked into your eyes and I saw something I liked. She said, it was your eyes. She said, I knew you needed help. I knew you needed somebody. And she said, I knew you were a very trusting person. And you're a person that I could trust. And she just told me my whole life history the first day she met me. 3 months after I met her, I married her.
This is why I'm a hopeless
3
romantic
months.
because of men like
and
him.
we've been married now for 35 years. It only took me 3 months before I knew I want to marry that woman.
They say a man knows when he knows. Like, it could be a week, it could be a year, but when you know, you know.
Well, where my mom would say, a friend in need is a friend indeed. Everybody is your friend when you're on top of the world, but when you hit rock bottom, not to bring it up, when Brody got killed, I don't want to badmouth people. I'm the only one in that dressing room that did something. The whole dressing room was full of wrestlers. Nobody did nothing. When a heart fell from that ceiling, and you can see nobody did nothing. When something happened to you, that's when you know who cares about you. If anybody be your friend, as long as you don't need something. A
Take me
friend
at my
in need is a
worst.
friend in need, but a friend would come to your rescue. My wife, if somebody told her now your husband in trouble, she would crawl out of her bed to try to get to me. That's when you know when people really care about you when the shit hit the fan. When I was with the WWE back to training with Mark Henry, hey Tony, hey. The next day, Vince said, Tony, your services are no longer needed. I called the phone, no answer. Call, no answer, no answer. You ever notice wrestlers stop talking to each other after they leave the business? And then they see each other at these big conventions. Hey, how you been? I ain't hear from you
like
in
they
years.
just saw each
Well,
other
you got my
yesterday.
number. You had my number for 20 freaking years. And they say, why ain't I hear from you in years? Well, I wonder why. Because you're not there anymore. When Hulk Hogan was on top of the world, I remember the guys in the dressing room with the one that laced his boots up. You know, Hogan couldn't do no wrong. Kiss his butt, buy a drink, everything. All of a sudden, Hogan get in trouble, and every wrestler in the world turned their back on him. You know, with that incident. But he's supposed to be all different. He helped a lot of these guys, you know, like Vince McMahon. I got to give him credit. He gave opportunity to people that probably would have never got it. But as soon as they want a contract came out where you go sue the WWE for concussions, whether you work there or not. Well, that list filled up in about a week. That list was full. And these were people that didn't have no name. Vince took them in, made them rich. Made them rich. And then as soon as he let them go, they started putting the knife in his back. You know? See, Vince didn't screw Tony Atlas. Tony Atlas screwed Tony Atlas.
Yep.
But I kind of hold the record. I was fired and hired more time by Vince than anybody. Most people they fire, they don't come back. He fired Rocky. Rocky never saw WWE again. As you know, been back several times. He fired me again, but he bring me back again. And then I do something goofy. He let me go again. But you know, you set your own. You pay your own way in life. You know, you're the captain of your own ship.
You have to hold yourself accountable.
Yeah. What you do in the past gonna affect your future. If you screw up in school, you're not gonna get to college, and you're not gonna get a good job.
My mom
I
always
can
said,
come
"Never
and
burn a
work
bridge
for.
you
I can
can't
come and
cross."
work for Marty, and a year later, a big time producer. Hey Marty, we're looking for a wrestler to be in this movie. We're gonna pay him $1 million. But I screwed you. You said, well, I done been with Tony before, and he jerked me around. You can hire me if you want. I'm not telling you not to, but my experience with him, he's not to be trusted. It follows you. You know, your past got a way of especially in today's time, because everybody today is a reporter. You know. I told one guy about my foot fetish, and next thing I know, 2 million people knew the next day. 2 million people the next day. I said, dang.
Well, it didn't help that you put it on TikTok. How many hits
Yeah,
did you get on
you
that
put
thing?
it on-
Wait, you
Million?
put it on TikTok?
Is it on TikTok?
Oh yeah. I got like 1 million hits.
I didn't put it on nothing. I gave it to a couple of friends, and they put it out there. What was it? It's like, what, two?
He was
2
going
days?
with the accountability.
Like
now he's like,
2
I gave it to
million-
friends.
2
They
million
put it
hits
out
in 2
there.
days?
Yeah. So, I noticed you know Jimmy's not here, right? Jimmy moved to Florida to go
Right.
live with, I guess, the love of his life, Wahoo McDaniel's widow. So another interesting love story that comes out of this show. So
I love the look. Like, honestly, he brought a woman on, and I feel like it's just been really sentimental. Like, I'm a hopeless romantic. And he's like, you gotta stop with this stuff. And then I hear things like this, and I'm like, see? She would, like, look at him. He's like, she changed me. She made me want to be better. I love that. And I love that. I feel when you get with someone, they should be your best friend. Everyone else doesn't matter, because I have my best friend and I also have my lover. So that's what, like, just hearing like things like that, especially with your accountability. You're like, hey, I got fired because of me, not because of him, because of me. But also, she was willing to take me at my worst, so she deserves me at my best.
Yeah.
And I love hearing that.
Yeah.
See, I'm gonna find my what do they call it? What's the Netflix series? Twin flame.
one day.
Yeah, I love myself too much.
Any Wahoo McDaniel stories?
Wow, it's been so long. Well, this one need to be told. When I first started, I started what's called Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And it was the Crockett's used to run it. David and Jim Crockett. And I even had a picture of it. I think I gave you one, Marty. I used to carry my little high school gym bag that I put my boots and everything in. And the first pair of boots was Carl and Hilligar. And it was real flat on the bottom. It had no arch support or nothing. So I was staying at the YMCA. In the older day, all the wrestlers, when they first come into town, the YMCA would have rooms. So it was like $100, $75 for the whole month, you know. It was just a bed. You had to share showers. And the bathroom was like, they had a bathroom and a shower on each floor. So they would put you in the YMCA. Downstairs they had a gym, you know, handball court. The guys used to come. A lot of guys like George Scott, all them old Canadians, they love playing handball, you know. And so anyway, Wahoo, I was going to ride with Wahoo for the first time. You know, he's a big star. Him and he was the Mid-Atlantic champion, U.S. champion, and everything. So I lost my bag, and I was carrying my stuff in a brown paper bag, my boots and trunk. And so I go to get in the car. Wahoo said, "Don't bring that bag in my car. Throw it away." I said, "Wahoo, throw it away." So I just started. I'm not going to disobey him. So I took it and hid it behind the trash can. I get it when I come back, you know. I'm going to throw away my boots and stuff.
Damn, he's really going to do it.
So anyway, we drive to the town, and I'm sitting there, what I'm going to wrestle in. So we go to open up the trunk. Wahoo grabbed his bag. He said, "Get your bag." I go, "What?" "Get your bag." So I reach in. It was a big yellow MFL bag from, I think, the Dolphin, of what he would play for.
The Jets.
The Jets, was the Jets?
Yep.
And it had the signal on. On the inside was 3 brand new pairs of trunks, some nice pairs of boots, and a robe, and a cosmetic kit. He said, "If you're going to be in this business, you got to look like a wrestler." I said, "Wahoo, it's yours, kid."
Wow.
You know, that's one of the stories. Now, there's some crazy stories about Wahoo, you know, that
I want to hear
Wahoo
those.
would fight in a drop of a hat. You know, he told me one time we were a tag team in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We're walking down the aisle. I'm Wahoo tag team partner. He said, "Walk behind me." He said, what the fans would do, they pull out his feathers. See, the headgear he wore was original stuff. It was not, you know, that cheap stuff. The tribe he's from, they made that for him. So he was very, very proud of it. So the fans want one of them feathers. By the time he got to the ring in some of these shows, half of his feather was gone. Used to really, really piss him off. So this one guy pulled out one of Wahoo's feathers, and Wahoo saw him. Wahoo grabbed him and pulled him over the rail and just beat him halfway senseless.
Wow.
They took the guy back in the back because he was knocked completely out. He's laying on the whatever that thing, the girdle.
The gurney.
Me and Wahoo, we go and have our match. The guy come back. Wahoo see the guy and say, "What the hell he doing there?" They say, "He waiting for the ambulance." Wahoo take him and beat him up and throw him out the door again.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That was back in the day when they could get away with stuff.
But back then, but see, back then you could beat up the fans.
That's what I say, when you could get away with
Yeah,
this
you
stuff.
could get away with that back then.
Some fans be grabby
in
and
fact,
stuff.
the fans wanted you to. Because, see, back in our day, people didn't know if it was legitimate or not. Because we use, in our day, which they don't use no more, what we call ring psychology. Nobody knows that because it ain't taught no more. Ring psychology is confusion. When I first started in 1975, my first match, they wouldn't give you a match. You would travel, you could do what they call dark matches, you help put up the ring, you watch every match and everything. They finally say, "Tonight you're going to have your match, kid. You're going to have your match tonight." So George Scott walked me out on the balcony in Anderson, South Carolina and said, "Tony, you see all them people out there?" I go, "Yeah." He said, "Everybody out there believes that wrestling is fake. It is your job to prove to them that it's not, by all means possible." So I'm wrestling, and the guys in the older days, when you're a new kid on the block, they would rib you. You got ribbed a lot, and they were stiff with you.
What's
They
that?
they would stretch you. They wouldn't give you nothing because the way they feel. I've been in this business for 10 years, 15 years. Here this young kid coming in and they getting a push, and I ain't got a push yet. So I was in the ring with Bob Breggers against Art Nelson, who had a back like this, and the Blue Scorpion. I don't know who the Blue Scorpion is. So when Breger got in, they worked with him. I mean, they flying all over the ring. When I get in, they started shooting with me. Everything was a shoot. They wouldn't work with me. The reason was they didn't know if I was going to stick with the bid, and they was afraid that if they told them what really went on, I would go and tell other people. So they want to make good and show you're going to stick with the business. So finally, I got Art Nelson in a headlock. Finally. And I was not going to let him go. And I squeezed and I squeezed. I'm not smart yet. I don't know if this is because they had nobody work with me, so I'm still not smart. So I squeezed out Nelson. So I go back in the back. I can't say the word what they say because it get you kick off the air. But he said, George, I want you to smarten that stupid blank up, because the next time he get me in that headlock, he's too strong. He pull out an Army 45. I'm gonna blow his head off. So George Scott told him, tomorrow we're going to teach you how to work. I said, Mr. Scott, I don't want to work. I want to be a wrestler. They wouldn't smart you up right away. And then you work with a lot of these older guys, they wouldn't give you nothing. You know, like the prime example, I always use Johnny Ross. With Johnny Ross, he didn't care if you was going over. If you could not fight in real life, Johnny Rod would beat the crap out of you. And what Vince Senior would do your first day, when you first come to the WWF back there, they put you in the ring with Johnny Ross. And Johnny Ross would show you if you could take care of yourself. I remember one time I didn't know what it mean by taking care of yourself. I used to let people call the match, made me look stupid. And George Scott said, kid, you got to learn to take care of yourself out there. You got to take care of yourself out there. So I was wrestling George Two-Town Harris one night, and every time I started making a comeback, George Harris said, not yet, kid, not yet, kid. So back then, you had to do a 15-minute match because they only had 6 matches.
That's a long
Yeah, they only had 6
time.
matches. They didn't have 101 matches like they do now.
Whoa.
So when I got back to George Scott, Ricky Steamboat loved this story. You ever talk to Ricky Steamboat? This is his favorite Tony Atlas story. So George Scott said, look, Tony, you're getting over real good because of your physique. The people really like you. So I'm going to bring you back next month against the U.S. champion, Black Jack Mulligan. He said, there's going to be some good money for you in that match. It's going to be a semi-final match. They had a main event, semi-main, intermission, and then they would have 4 other matches, the undercard matches. But anyway, I wrestled George. I'm going to go over. Going over me, I'm going to win. So every time I go to make a comeback, now George Scott said, Tony, I want you to look good out there tonight. I want you to shine. I really want you to shine tonight. You hear me? I go, yes, sir. I'm going to shine tonight. I'm going to shine. So I get in the ring. Every time I go to make a comeback, Buck Harris said, not yet, kid, not yet. So I don't do nothing. Not yet, kid, not yet, kid. I don't do nothing. Finally, about 13 minutes ago, I got 2 minutes left in the match. So he said, okay, kid, you can start your comeback now. So my comeback, before I came to WWF, Vince Senior gave me the finish of the press slam. I press slammed Slaughter, and Vince saw it. He said, from now on, that's your finish. But when I first came to New York, my finish was a sleeper hold. I put the sleeper on. So he threw me in the rope. I leapfrogged him, gave him 2 drop kicks, threw him in, put him in the sleeper. I'm happy. I come back. George Scott said, what the hell happened? I said, what? He said, I want you to shine, kid. You didn't shine. He said, I want you to look good. You didn't shine. I said, what do you mean I didn't shine? I used a half a bottle of baby oil. I didn't know what he meant.
Right.
Because they didn't smarten you up right away. You got smart to the business gradually. The other way, if you quit the business, you can't expose them. And laying in, you hear the term, laying in, kid. That means do it for real.
Right.
Like, especially when you're on the outside, because people is right there. So you can't throw the punches punching. Another time, I got in trouble for throwing too many punches. You know how guys get in the ring and they get up on the top rope and they punch a guy in the head 10 times, and the people count. But when they get in the car, they drive home, they reevaluate what they saw. They say, well, you know that's fake. You know that really didn't happen. I'd done that. Ole Anderson and George Championship, I said, Tony, if you ever do that again, I'm going to fire you. He said, don't nobody sitting out there believe that a guy that could bench press 600 pounds, 23.5-inch arm, built like a Greek god, can hit somebody in the head 10 times and don't even leave a scratch. He said if his wife hit him in the head 10 times, she would probably knock him out. She said either he the toughest SOB walking the face of the earth, or you the biggest wimp the world ever seen. Most wrestlers think the more that they do to their opponent, the more they do, the better to get them over. The more you do to your opponent, the weaker you look. For a guy that was 270, 80 pounds like I were, to punch you 10 times and not even leave a scratch, what they say about my punching? If I got to give you 101 moves to beat you, I ain't that tough. You understand what I'm saying? That's why the guys did less, because we believe sometimes less is more. What it is, a move is only as good as your opponent sells it. If I do a devastating move to you and you get up, it don't mean nothing once you get up. Because you up. You kind of like the Superman movie. I shoot you with a 22, the bullet bounce off. 38 bullet bounce off. What good is the gun against Superman? People don't sell. They don't understand psychology. People want to believe. But when they watch the matches tell them all day long it's not real. Dick Murdoch, one time I worked with old Dick Murdoch, and I'm working his arm. So now he gonna get some heat on me. So he raked my eye, and with the arm I was beating on, he hit me with that hand, and he grabbed it right away and sold it. And he took that hand and put it inside of his trunk, and he never used that arm the whole night. People started looking and said, well, I think his arm is really hurt. People would work your leg, then pick you up and have you run across the ring. That's why people don't ask, is wrestling fake no more? Because once they watch the match, they know it is. It's no psychology. Because there was nobody around. Vince got rid of all the old timers that knew psychology. You know what we call ring psychology? Ring psychology is turning fantasy into reality.
They know how to sell it.
You know, turning fantasy into reality. You go in believing that it's not real. But you're leaving out wondering, well, maybe it is. That's what made them come back. They didn't come back. They came back. If we ran the same, Vince couldn't do today what we done. We would run the same town every week and sell it out. Every week. He couldn't do that. Because people don't believe in his product. When you got Hog Swallow beating Mark Henry, who in the effing gonna believe that? It's not believable. You understand what I'm saying? That there was a lot of good wrestlers when I was there with Mark Henry. I look at some of these guys, I would say back in the 70s, can you imagine they asked Andre the Giant to do that Hog Swallow pin him? What would Andre say? Andre Giant don't lose to midget. And that would have been it.
Well, it's like what Zayn,
Andre
Sami
don't
Zayn and
lose to
stuff. Whenever they
midget.
do those matches, I'm like, really, dude? I mean, it's nice for the underdog to kind of get a little bit, but I'm just like, you would never in a real match beat the shit out of him.
See, now in the older days, the reason you couldn't do that because back in the old days, the fans would try you, especially in Louisiana.
Right.
You get out there in Louisiana all you want to say, hey, you want something, you get in the ring. You have 20 guys jumping in that ring. So in the older days, if you couldn't really fight, you would have found out real fast. See, they put a lot of people in the wrestling business now that never been in a fist fight a day in their life.
Right.
They never been in a fight a day in their life.
So it's hard
because
to
now
sell
they
them.
know it's acting.
Yeah.
Now they know it's a show. But back in my day, we would go to, that was one of the ways of drawing money. You know that, right? We go into a bar that's supposed to have tough guys, especially Harley Race was known for this. He would go to a bar and just start knocking people out.
Jesus.
Harley Race would do that. You ask CM Punk was trained by Harley Race. Now, he can tell you himself, he sees Harley Race knock people out in bars all the time. I see Harley Race beat up Butch Reed back when he was managing Vader. So he was an old man then, but he still could whoop the Butch Reed,
Wow.
who was like this. Yeah. Sweet Handsome beat up a bunch of people all the time in bars. I mean, Wahoo. You just brought up Wahoo. Wahoo was known for bar fighting. The Moolah's saved Randy Orton's grandfather from being stabbed in a bar fight.
Wow.
So bar fight was common. What happened? We get arrested. The promoter would come and bail us out. They let us go. You pay the fine, whatever it is. You pay the fine, but you're in the newspaper. Mm-hmm. Now all the fans want to come and see these two wrestlers
They got into a huge bar fight.
that just beat up, that just cleared the bar. Mad Dog Vachon would bite off your nipple and spit it in your face and then beat you up.
I kind of would totally want to see a bar fight now.
Tony, I really have to ask you this question. We've spoke to you about Bruiser Brody in Puerto Rico, right? Since podcasting is becoming more and more popular, one wrestler, Dutch Mantel,
Right.
he's becoming the podcasting darling. I always wanted to ask you, what role did Dutch Mantel play the night Bruiser Brody was murdered?
He rode to the building with us, and that's the last I saw of him. Yeah. He rode to me, Dutch, and Brody rode to the building along with the guy that gave us a ride was the guy that owned the bodybuilding gym. He was a bodybuilder himself. Him and his wife gave us a ride. When I walked out, Dutch Mantel and Brody was sitting on the steps of the Tanama. I asked Brody, I said, Brody, where you ride at? Brody said, I'm waiting on him. He's running late. And I said, who you riding with? He said, Jose. The guy that stabbed him. That's who he was waiting on to bring him. When we walked in the dressing room, Jose was already at the building. Him, Carlos, and the red-headed, light-skinned Puerto Rican guy, Victor.
Rivera.
His name was Victor. I can't think of his last name, but he's a real light-skinned, real bright-skinned guy. And Jose got up and walked out of the dressing room. I sat down to draw, and Jose walked up to Brody, asked Brody, can he talk to him? Brody said, yes, tell her to go in the shower. And I hear Brody holler twice. I didn't see Dutch the whole night.
Did you ever question Dutch when you ran into him? Like, where were you? Did
Well,
you
he
ever
said
question him? Or?
Well, I saw his interview. He said he walked outside. He was out in the. He said when it happened, he walked out in the stadium.
I know what he says, but you were there. So at what point do you meet up with Dutch Mantel again in your career?
The next day.
And do you question him?
No,
Why?
I never thought about it. He said he left. So when you tell me you left, there's nothing to ask you. You wasn't there. He said he left. He left.
Did you ever wonder why he left?
I'm wondering why right now. I'm like, you guys have me intense.
Yeah, like, why did you leave? Did you know something was going to happen and you wanted to make sure you weren't around it? I mean, that's my question to you.
I never thought about it that way.
That's
To
actually
be
a
honest with you,
thought.
I never really gave it much thought. But what I did know, that I was the only one that jeopardized their job and their safety for him. Because I remember the guy said, anybody want to go to the hospital with him? Nobody moved. They say, anybody want to help? Put him in the ambulance. Nobody moved. They didn't even want to be within 10 feet of him. The show went on. You know? The show went on like nothing happened.
Why didn't anyone want to do anything?
That's wrestling. The show goes on like nothing happened. Yeah, yeah. I walked back when I got back from the hospital. They was laughing and joking. You would never think a man was stabbed when I walked in that dressing room. Nobody was sad. Nobody was unhappy. They were bragging about their match.
What?
That's right.
That's insanity.
Well, see, wrestlers in wrestling, Klondike Bill told me, he said, kid, when you finish this business, if you have one friend, consider yourself lucky. Wrestlers are not your friend. They're your business associates. They are your business associate. When you break into wrestling, not one person walk up to you and say, welcome to wrestling. They don't say that. They say, welcome to the business. I didn't know I was in the business after I got out the business. Then I found out it's a business. They would say, do anything during the time if they're making money with you. Once you can't make them no money or book them or whatever, they got no time for you.
I feel like that's so wrong, though. You
Well,
guys
that's right,
risk
because
your lives
wrestling is an
to
individual
entertain.
sport. All my students I train to teach what wrestling. I say, I'm Burger King, you McDonald's, you Wendy's, you KFC, you Popeye. You all in the food industry business. And if one industry could put the other industry out of business, they do it in a heartbeat. There's no way that Burger King and Wendy's ever going to be friends. Popeye and Kentucky Fried Chicken is never going to be friends. Tony Atlas and another wrestler are never going to be friends.
Well,
They're my business associates. And it took me a long, long time to digest that. Most of the people that I would say was my friend were people I met outside of the business. And when all these guys leave, while they're on TV, they the greatest thing on since sliced bread. But as soon as they no longer with Vince, it's like they don't even exist. They forget about you so quickly. We boycotted the show with the Brody thing because Abdullah told us to boycott it, but then he lied on the dark side of the ring and said there was no meeting. There was a meeting.
right.
We had a meeting.
Tony, I don't want to cut you short because we have an appointment to go to. You're coming back tomorrow. You're going to be joining us on some
Okay.
other interviews, right? So don't worry, folks. You'll get more Tony Atlas. But I want to give my superstar co-host one final question with you before we call it a night and we go to our appointment.
She's too young for me.
Whoa!
I know they're going to break your heart, little lady, but
I'm watching my sugar intake there.
my daughter just turned 45, so anything below 45,
I told
60 for me.
How did you know that was going to be the question?
So all you 60-year-old hot mamas out here, I right here, baby, 60 and up. Tony is ready. 60 and up. Anything under 60, you go home to your mama.
Good stuff.
All right, Tony. My question is, do you like my shoes?
No, they make me want. I don't want to. They make me think about church.
What is it with
I hate heels.
These are red bottoms. They're not sexy.
Ah, they're horrible. Ugly shoes.
All right, Tony, we're going to our
You
appointment.
put on a pair of them Vans, you be talking then, kiddo.
He's back tomorrow. We could wear flatter shoes.
I'll wear flatter shoes.
Flatter
Oh, wait, I was
shoes.
going to wear platforms.
We might have flatter shoes. Tony, always an honor. We'll see you tomorrow.
See, when
and,
I look at her shoe, you know what I want to say?
What do you want to say?
Amazing.
I knew it. I knew it.
And grace.
You can send us out with this one.
How sweet a sound is saved.